Hi, and welcome to the office today. Can you tell me a little bit about yourself?
My name is Leah. I'm 13. I play basketball. I go to Marina Cook Middle. And my interests include like music and stuff like that.
Okay, so what brings you in today?
I feel as if I have like severe anxiety and I want to improve on that.
And can you tell me a little bit about that anxiety?
Well, in social interactive situations, I feel like trapped. I feel very scared. And I just want that feeling to go away, and I don't know, I've been getting anxiety attacks more often than usual.
And when you're feeling anxious, where do you feel it?
I feel it just kind of in my chest and just, I don't know, it builds from here and goes everywhere else, and I just don't like it.
So if you're in a situation like at school, for instance, with friends, and you're starting to feel anxious, what might you do?
Well, I normally would like stay away from the situation and I would go to the bathroom or something, or I don't know, just go away from the situation or just sit there and be quiet and like zone out.
And do you think that's effective? That helps you?
In some situations, but I feel like I couldn't like find more strategies to help me.
Have you ever had any strategies in the past that have been helpful?
I've had some where I would just sit there and breathe and think about ways to fix it, but it just hasn't really worked for me.
And that hasn't worked?
No.
When you're having these situations with your friends, does talking to them about it make you feel any better?
I don't really talk about my anxiety problems because, I don't know, I feel like it makes it worse when someone knows about it.
In what way?
It's because I feel insecure about it sometimes, and I feel like it makes people look at me different.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
And how does it feel to feel different?
Not good. It feels like you don't belong and like you don't fit in with everyone else.
And when you're at school, do you have people you can talk to?
Yeah, I do have people I can talk to, but I just don't like opening up to people, and I don't know, I just don't like it. So, I mean, I have my advisor, which is my homeroom teacher, and he's a good person to talk to, but I don't know. I haven't known him for that long, and I feel like I need to know him more to be able to do that.
Okay. And can you talk a little bit about your panic attacks?
So, I usually get it when anxiety is built up from, let's say, well, at the beginning when it started, it was like anxiety built up from like a month because it was really stressful. And it builds up and I don't really let it out ever. So the way that I let it out is I kind of let it happen because I can feel when an anxiety attack is going to happen, because I can feel like me about to cry and stuff. I start crying and I then start panicking. I pace sometimes. And then I just sit there and cry, or I read a book sometimes to calm me down. And then it ends with me doing like a meditation thing.
Mm-hmm.
I go on YouTube videos and I look for calming things like that. And sometimes I don't really like panic attacks, but I sometimes have to do it because there's no other way for me to let the anxiety out.
And how long do they last?
They started out as like 10-minute ones, and now they last for like 30 minutes, which isn't that good.
So are there ways when you start to feel like you are getting anxious and it's building up and it might turn into a panic attack? Are there ways for you to end up not having a panic attack?
Well, if I always end up having it, but I can prolong the waiting part. Mm-hmm. It's kind of like when you're gonna cry, you just try to hold it back. You just breathe through it, and it can help.
Mm-hmm.
And it usually happens when I'm at school or like at a basketball game, let's say. If there's a lot of anxiety, I just keep it in and I wait until it's like a private area and I can let it out. But sometimes when it's been building up for a long time, I just can't stop it. Or if a thing is really stressful, it like triggers it. And sometimes when I want to let all of this out, I find a way to trigger it in a way. Like let's say I would look at something sad, because like crying can start the anxiety attack a little sometimes, so I guess so. That really doesn't help, but yeah.
Okay.